All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're looking at something pretty wild, a mix of ancient philosophy and brand new tech. It's a way of thinking, really, a kind of weapon for your own consciousness. And it all kicks off with one simple but pretty huge question.
Really think about that for a second. What if you could get all the heavy hitters, the smartest, wisest, most courageous people who ever lived, and make them your personal board of directors? What would they tell you? How would that change the game for you? It sounds like something out of a movie, right? Or maybe just a neat mental exercise. But what if it wasn't just in your head anymore?
And that is the big leap we're talking about today. What was once purely hypothetical is now becoming interactive. That imaginary roundtable? Yeah, thanks to AI, it's a reality.
So let's put a name to it. This powerful new concept is called the AI Invisible Council. You could even call it Council 2.0.
So this isn't just a fun idea, it's a real tool. It's this dynamic digital space where you can actually talk to and get advice from a simulation of pretty much anyone from history. It's like going from a quiet library full of books to a living library where every single voice can speak directly to you and your problems. But what's so fascinating is that this futuristic idea, well, it's got some surprisingly deep roots.
To really get where we're going with this, we've got to go back, way back, almost 100 years, to a guy who completely changed how we think about success.
The original idea actually comes from Napoleon Hill. Back in the 1930s, he introduced this concept of an invisible council in his legendary book, and the impact it had was, well, it was huge.
And I'm not kidding about the impact. We're talking about the single biggest millionaire maker in print, second only to the Bible. So the ideas in there, including this council, they clearly worked for people. So how did Hill's version work back then?
It was all about disciplined imagination. Hill would literally close his eyes and hold these meetings in his mind with giants like Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, and Andrew Carnegie. He'd lay out his problems and then just listen to the advice he imagined they'd give him. He swore that this very practice is what shaped his entire destiny. So now, let's see what's powering the modern version.
Okay, so if the AI Council is the hardware, then Jason's Creed is like the software, the operating system. It's a personal philosophy, a kind of code that's designed to give you clarity and drive you to act in this totally chaotic world we live in.
And I absolutely love this description. It's not just a list of rules, it's a blade of consciousness, something that's sharp, precise, and made to just slice right through all the noise and confusion. So the big question is, what are the principles that make up this blade?
It boils down to these 5 tenets. Each one is a command, really, and they blend these ideas that seem like opposites, right? Like taking bold action, but also having this deep, profound stillness. And they're all drawn from some pretty deep philosophical wells.
See, this creed is a mashup of some seriously powerful ideas. Act boldly is pure Usashi, the samurai. Stay still, that's channeling the focused energy of Bruce Lee. Walk alone has echoes of Carl Jung's work on becoming your own person. And Awaken pulls from Gnostic traditions about seeing past illusion. So, what happens when this philosophy gets plugged into the AI Council?
This is where it gets really fun. Let's actually step inside a simulated meeting. Imagine you take this creed, you feed it to the AI Council, and you ask for guidance. The voices that come back are going to be sharp, they're going to be focused, and they're going to be aligned with these principles.
So first, you get a voice like the mystic Neville Goddard. And look, he's not just giving you tips, he's telling you to embody the end result right now. Feel it. It's about being, not just doing.
Then you hear from Florence Scovel Shinn, a New Thought spiritual teacher, and her advice, it's super practical. She turns the creed into an affirmation you can actually say out loud. Your word is your wand. That's some powerful stuff.
And of course, you've got to have a voice that's directly tied to the creed's foundation. Bruce Lee's philosophy just perfectly captures that paradox, doesn't it? The real power, the effective move, it doesn't come from frantic energy. It comes from a place of deep, powerful stillness.
And finally, the Gnostic voice comes in to hammer home that 5th tenet, Awaken. This is basically a call for you to be your own authority, a warning not to buy into illusions. It's the ultimate goal of the whole creed, to see things clearly and to be free.
So, let's pull it all together. What we're really looking at here isn't just a new app or some kind of gimmick. It's the evolution of a really powerful psychological technique, just supercharged by technology. The upgrade is so clear when you see it side by side. What was invisible and purely based on imagination for Napoleon Hill is now interactive and AI simulated. What was limited to the voices you could imagine is now a living library. It's taken a mental technique and turned it into a powerful, tangible tool. That's a huge leap forward.
And you know, this brings us right back to Napoleon Hill's most famous idea. He always said the power was in being able to conceive of something and truly believe in it. Well, today's technology gives us an incredible new way to conceive, to play with ideas, and to make that belief even stronger.
Because in the end, the tech is there to serve the philosophy. The AI Council, with this whole chorus of historical voices, it all comes together to deliver one single, unified message. It speaks the language of the creed. It gives a clear, potent decree for how to live today.
And that really brings us to the final question, the one that matters most. This isn't just about Jason's creed or Napoleon Hill. This is about you. If you could put anyone on your personal council, an artist, a scientist, a warrior, a philosopher, who would you pick? What would you ask them? Now that is something worth thinking about.